Aloha, friends, and welcome back to Maui. My name is Maria Emmerich, and I'm a nutritionist, and this is my scientist husband, Craig Emmerich. And we have been helping people around the world for over the past 20 years. I myself have been on a ketogenic diet for 29 years now. I just celebrated my anniversary. But we want to talk to you about the importance of protein because I know a lot of people hear, oh, eat your protein, but they don't really know why. And also that protein is more important as you age, not less. Because you see a lot of people as they age, they eat less and they eat like a bird, right?
Yeah.
And they don't focus on protein. As our son is sitting across from us, he's eating his breakfast of burger patties. I love it.
Hamburger patties.
Hamburger patties.
And it's so important to get good, complete protein. And like you said, especially as you get older. So there's something in protein. Leucine is one of the amino acids. And you need enough leucine to trigger building muscle. And that process, mTOR, or muscle protein synthesis, is so important to build, repair your tissues. And as we get older, the leucine curve, you need about 2 to 2.5 grams of leucine to start the process of muscle building. And as you get older, that curve shifts. And so you need more like 3 grams of leucine to start building muscle. And so as you get older, it becomes harder and harder to maintain your muscle. And that's why sarcopenia happens so much as we get older.
As you know, we love Hawaii. It's quite warm here though, for me especially. I don't do as well with the heat, so I need to stay really well hydrated. And one of the great things about the new Element little cans that have a little different amount of electrolytes and citric acid, and it's a different flavor. And actually not a big fan of the orange in the packets. I really love it in this new sparkling product. So we like packing these, and when we go on hikes, we just did a long hike up to a huge waterfall. Got some great family photos that we'll share. But this is really helpful right now because I'm needing it because it was a pretty rough hike up these rainforests. So if you want to get a free sample pack with your order, go to drinkelement.com/KetoMaria and you'll get a free sample pack and maybe try out these new sparkling products.
You know, they haven't really said why this happens, but I believe one of the reasons is because as you age, you produce less hydrochloric acid and you produce less digestive enzymes. And that's what you would need to break down protein and absorb the nutrients that you're eating, right? So I don't know. I believe that's one of the reasons.
Definitely could be a factor, but the importance of prioritizing protein as you get older, over 50, 60, especially 70, becomes more and more important. So prioritizing protein is key when you get older.
I do appreciate my mom. My mom is 75 and she has always prioritized protein. She's not the healthiest eater. Love you, Mom. But she will make sure that she eats her protein before a dessert or something like that. And I'm even like that with fruit. I make sure to have protein first. If I'm having fruit, it's after something like that.
And so that's as we get older, but protein is so important for everything, for everyone at every stage of life. Your hair, your skin, your nails, you're constantly turning over those protein that you need a new supply of amino acids to rebuild. And there's also something called autophagy, which, people in the fasting space love to talk about autophagy. And autophagy is the process where your body takes cells that are failing and are getting older, and it breaks them apart and builds up new cells through this process. And one of the things you need is some new amino acids to rebuild the broken ones and damaged ones in this process. And so it's important to get protein to fuel that process.
Yeah, your entire body, you can think of it as the building blocks. Your body is your heart tissue, your lungs, all of the tissues are always turning over. And if you don't consume enough amino acids to repair the heart tissue as it's turning over, the liver, the lungs, then it's going to steal from your muscles to repair them because your muscles are expensive. They're not needed. Your heart tissue is needed. So it's going to prioritize
your organs, your skin. These things are things that are, if you don't have it, it's a problem, right?
Right. So another thing about protein is the nutrients are in the protein. I mean, a lot of this community, they'll focus on, eat a stick of butter, this and that. There's very little nutrients, maybe some vitamin A and CLA in a stick of butter. But if you have a plate of, ground beef or chicken or eggs, that's going to have all the nutrients in there.
Yeah, we'll put a chart up here showing that. And that's the thing is, throughout any diet or anybody you talk to, if you give them 2 plates of food and you say this one and this one have the same energy, but this one over here has 10 times the vitamins and minerals of this one, which one's healthier for you? But it's always going to be the more nutrient dense food because your body always needs vitamins and minerals. You don't want deficiencies. And as you can see, protein, just eggs or beef, are going to blow butter out of the water when it comes to vitamins and minerals.
I like that you said energy because nobody wants to hear calories, right? Call it energy, call it calories, whatever it is you want to call it. But again, people will say, oh, Maria, I fast until 2:00. And I'm like, you didn't have any liquid calories? And they're like, well, I had 2 bulletproof coffees. So I was like, well, there's 1,000 calories of pure
energy.
There's no nutrients in a bulletproof coffee.
Very little.
Except for some mold and all of that. So just be aware, liquid calories still count. Liquid energy still counts. But some of the types of protein we want to talk about. First, I want to talk about collagen because I don't think people understand collagen isn't a complete amino acid profile. It doesn't have a complete amino acid profile. However, a third of your body is made up of collagen. So it's not wasted. However, I like to pair collagen with a meal that has all the amino acids. So then it's just like fueling more fire to your body.
Your body's always going to use all the amino acids that you consume. Okay, it's going to absorb them. It's going to use, because amino acids are so critically important for all these processes. I mean, insulin, it's a peptide. Peptides are protein-based molecules. So there's so many things that the body needs protein and amino acids for. And so it's always going to absorb and use all the ones that you eat. The problem with plant proteins is that they don't have a lot of leucine. It's not a complete amino acid profile. And so they're like, depending on the plant protein type, you're not going to get as much muscle building as you would from an animal-based protein. So, 25 to maybe 30 grams, depending on the animal protein source, is what you need of protein to trigger building muscle with animal proteins. With plant proteins, it could be as much as twice or more of that.
So when I work with a vegetarian or a vegan, I ask them, is it because you think it's healthy or because of religious reasons and you love animals that much? Because if you think it's healthy, sit down. We're going to be here for a while. I'm going to teach you why it's not. But I was just in India, and in India, a lot of people are vegetarian for religious reasons. And I need to respect that. And I do respect that. And so just talking to them about getting enough amino acids from vegetarian sources can be quite difficult, but it's possible.
Yeah. And one of the things I want to mention too is back to the energy thing. One of the benefits I think of protein is that it is not really an energy source.
No.
And that's the thing that people in this community, I think, misunderstand a lot, whether it's gluconeogenesis is going to spike my blood sugar, or rabbit starvation, you're going to, starve yourself and die because you only eat protein, or those kind of things. So let's take those each separately.
Yep.
Rabbit starvation. So I'll put a chart up here that really explains it well. If you are very, very lean and you eat very, very lean only meats, that could result in rabbit starvation issues. If you're obese and you eat very lean protein, you just become a lean human. It's really good for fat loss. And then the other side of it, the gluconeogenesis, the body doesn't want to take protein and turn it into glucose. It's a very expensive energy process. It takes a ton of ATP to take protein and turn it into glucose. And then some people even say, well, then the glucose could turn into fat. I guarantee you there's almost no fat on your body that originated as protein. It's so many ATP to get to that path. It's crazy to do it, especially when you got excess body fat on your body. Like, why do it? But protein is building blocks, and so your body's going to prioritize it as building blocks. It's only going to turn it into fuel primarily when you need it. And when do you need it? When you eat zero carbohydrate. And people talk about carbohydrates are non-essential. You don't need carbohydrates. It's true. But that then means you need to turn protein into glucose if you're not eating any glucose or carbohydrates, because the body still needs glucose. It needs, your red blood cells don't have mitochondria.
Your brain, your thyroid.
You need glucose for certain body parts.
So does that mean, I know the answer, but let's ask Craig. Does that mean you need more protein to trigger muscle protein synthesis because some of that protein is going towards your thyroid, your brain?
I wouldn't say that. You just need more amino acids
Mhm.
in general because you're still going to trigger muscle building, but then you're going to need to take some of that protein and use it to make glucose.
Mhm.
And so you need even more protein in the diet to supply the glucose that your body needs.
So protein isn't an energy source, but what is an energy source? There's actually three. There's carbohydrates, there's fat, and then there's the body fat on your body. People don't understand that you can use the fuel on your body for energy if you let it. But most people are consuming way too much fat, way too much carbohydrates for them to use that for energy.
And just another little point, you can get some glucose from burning your stored body fat.
Mm-hmm.
The triglyceride molecule that your body fat is stored as, it's a 3 free fatty acids with a glycerol backbone. And when the body uses that as energy, the free fatty acids get burned in your muscle. The glycerol, when that free fatty acids are burned away, is extra, and 3 glycerol molecules can be turned to a glucose molecule in your liver. So you get like, I don't know, 8 or 10% of your triglycerides can be converted to glucose. But it's still not enough to supply your body, especially if you're not extremely obese. If you're 200 pounds overweight, you can get quite a bit of glucose that way and offset some of the protein being turned into glucose. But for most people, you're not going to get enough, and you still need to prioritize protein enough to make that.
So when we say protein, what should people be consuming? We do have charts that we'll throw up here too. So for some really lean proteins, that would be seafood. Even salmon is, they call that a fatty fish. It's very lean. It's considered a protein sparing modified fast type of a lean fish protein. There's chicken breast. So choosing chicken breast rather than maybe chicken wings, that's going to have more protein, less fat. Choosing a tenderloin versus a ribeye, you're going to get more protein. So if you have the same size of steaks, tenderloin versus a ribeye, you're going to have to add a lot more ribeye to get enough protein that you would get in a tenderloin.
And again, let's set the context here. If you are very lean, very active, and in maintenance,
yep,
that the leanest cuts are not for you. You need some more fat in the diet. So again, it's very context based. But if you're trying, full stop, if you're trying to lose body fat, prioritizing more of the leaner cuts will definitely help.
Some other protein suggestions would be eggs have protein. I just don't think some people realize where protein is. Lamb,
any animal protein,
pork,
yep, seafood, any fish, you know, all of your animal
ground
proteins
beef
are going to be pretty complete proteins,
mm-hmm.
as well as eggs. So those are some of your best sources.
I mean, if you can do dairy, we usually cut out dairy for weight loss struggles with people. But if you can do dairy, I was surprised that string cheese has more protein than fat, and moon cheese. Our son Kai loves moon cheese. That's his favorite snack for an airplane ride. And moon cheese has a lot more protein than fat too.
And we don't like it for weight loss, but
No.
if you are in maintenance and you're trying to build muscle, whey protein is very complete as well. That's only like 20 grams of protein to get muscle building. So
yeah. But again, I would never drink your calories. If your goal is weight loss, you want to chew your food. It signals, it registers satisfaction in the brain. It signals leptin in the brain. It tells you to stop eating. So it's way more effective to chew your calories. So with that, I do want to mention that we do weight loss challenges every month. And if you're interested in learning more, we do an hour meeting with our challengers. And it's really, really fun. We give you the meal plans that are packed with protein, but they're also very delicious. So if you're like, I don't want to eat a chicken breast, I don't either. So we give you really good ideas that are going to help you hit your protein macro. We do your macros for you.
We have a new app that is amazing.
Yep.
We have the best support community out there with the best coaches, and you get instant support there 24 hours a day. And we have a great check-in feature that keeps you on track.
I love that daily check-in.
Yeah, with feedback and everything. So it's really awesome.
I think the daily check-in is very significant to help people stay on track. So if you're interested in that, you can throw a little comment below, but we'll also have the link. And if you've done the challenge, throw a comment below to help inspire other people to let them know how much you loved it, because I know everybody just loves it so much. So thank you, everybody, and we appreciate your comments, and please subscribe. We appreciate it too.